afternoon, everyone. I'm Rachel Street, the Chief Executive at Heart of Kent Hospice, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our annual Light Up a Life Remembrance Service. I'd like to extend a special welcome to the Bishop of Tonbridge, the Right Reverend Simon Burton-Jones, the Worshipful, the Mayor of Maidstone, Councillor Gordon Newton, and Mayoress Mrs Carol Newton, Dr Usmami, Imam of Maidstone Mosque, and I'd also like to say a thank you to Father Prior Michael Cox and the Carmelite community here at Aylesford Priory, allowing us to use this beautiful venue for this evening's service. And to all of our performers this evening, to the East Peckham Silver Band, the Maidstone Singers, the West Malling Community Choir, Keith Viner and Isla Rose Tarrant, and to tonight's readers, and to Gallagher, who so generously support our annual Light Up a Life appeal. So far this year, we've raised over £13,000 for this event, and I know that many of you will decide to stand alongside the hospice team by giving a donation this evening. Many of you will know personally the difference that our compassionate care can make, whether that be at the hospice itself or with the support of the community team in people's homes and care homes. And I'd like to thank you all. With your kindness and compassion, you are ensuring that more local families will benefit from our support. During tonight's service, your remembrance stars will be blessed, so please do keep them to hand, and together we will say the names of those we are remembering and celebrating. And I'm sure many of us have had a busy few weeks and a busy couple more weeks ahead before we get to Christmas. But our Light Up a Life service is an important time to stop and reflect, to remember our loved ones and how they made an impact on our lives. Our loved ones may no longer be with us, but we remember them in our hearts, in our thoughts, and in our memories. Thank you for coming.
On behalf of the Carmelite community, a sincere welcome to you all for this annual service to stop and reflect and to reverence the dead and to think also about the great acts of care that have been demonstrated to all those who mourn the loss of a loved one. So it's a great privilege for us to enable you to gather in what we hope will remain reasonable weather in which to do so. We're conscious in the Christian tradition that we have a wreath of evergreen to remember the eternal love of the God whom we worship. And each week, with that wreath, to light yet another candle so that the brightness increases. For those of you who extend loving care and support to others, light in our world increases, and that is part of God's design. In October of this year, sadly, after battling a whole series of illnesses himself, Father Francis, my predecessor here as Prior of Aylesford, sadly died. I was greatly touched that Rabbi Sylvia offered for him the Mourner's Kaddish upon his departure. And so, if you would, of your kindness, remember him also in your prayers, for he was, in his time, a great supporter of this time of remembrance and celebration of lives that have been loved and lost. May the God who brings us peace abide with you.
As we gather together here in this place of ancient beauty, under the gentle embrace of the sky, we celebrate the people we have loved and lost, their remarkable lives, which were lived with passion, grace, and immense love. In this sacred moment of remembrance, let's find solace in the collective embrace of each other, cherishing the beautiful memories and the indelible mark left by those who touched our lives in myriad beautiful ways. Let us begin this Light Up a Life with a spirit of unity, love, and a deep sense of gratitude for the time that we were privileged to share with those that we are remembering today. The next piece is going to be read by Reverend Ruth Peat, the Vicar of St. Peter and St. Paul's Church in Aylesford. Ruth is one of the many people who support our hospice from their different faith traditions. And we're also within Ruth's parish, so we're particularly close to her and deeply grateful for the support that she brings to the hospice.
Life is a journey. Birth is a beginning and death a destination. And life is a journey from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength, or from strength to weakness, and often back again, from health to sickness, and we pray to health again, from offence to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion, from grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until, not looking backwards or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high point along the way, but in having made the journey, step by step, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination, and life is a journey. Amen.
Epitaph. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the streets beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not on your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So, when all that's left of me is love, give me away.
We're delighted to have Keith Viner with us to add to our musical offering for today.
Bring him joy. He is young. He is only a boy. Can take, you can give.
going to have a poem by Donna Ashworth. I'm sure many of you know her poetry about grief, to be read by Liz Donoghue, who is an advanced nurse practitioner in the hospice community team. The hospice as a building only has, as you probably know, 10 beds, 10 patients in at any one time, but the hospice as a community has 1,000 people in the community. And it's the community team and the doctors and the nurses and the paramedics and all the other people who look after the patients that we look after, who maybe never meet the hospice itself, but they meet the hospice in the people.
Holiday grief, the festive season, the most wonderful time of the year. But if you are missing a face at your table, it can be the hardest time of all. How to feel merry, how to feel bright when your world has lost its light. How to carry on, continue the traditions when the person who made it all worthwhile is not there. How to face the music, the dancing, the cheering, and the reflection of a year gone by when the pain is already suffocating on an ordinary day. You just try. It is all you can do, my friend. You try very hard to imagine what that person will tell you, and if you listen really closely, you will hear it in their voice. What would they want you to do? Retreat, isolate, or take their favourite songs and their funny stories and their little festive habits and share it with your loves. In their honour, now they cannot. I think that we can all agree it is what they would wish for you. I think that we can also agree that they would want you to feel as loved and as you once did when they were there here. They would want you to feel their love still. They are trying very hard to make you feel it. It hasn't gone away. And you need that love now more than ever, and everyone around you needs it too. So, feel their love, say their name, bring them back to your festive table, even if it takes all of your courage and heart. It is the only way. Thank you everyone for coming.
Psalm 121, a song for ascents. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from God, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God is your guardian. God is your protection at your right hand. By day, the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. God will guard you from all harm and will guard your life. God will guard your going and coming, now and forever. Thank you.
Strong when I am on your shoulders, you raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Let your life speak, listening for the voice of vocation. Self-care is never a selfish act. It is simply good stewardship of the only gift I have, the gift I was put on earth to offer others. Any time we can listen to our true self and give the care it requires, we do it not only for ourselves, but for the many others whose lives we touch. before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen. Listen for what it intends to do with you. Before you tell your life what truths and values you have decided to live up to, let your life tell you what truths you embody, what values you represent. Each time a door closes, the rest of the world opens up.
When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephant slumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid. Promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us.
Bereavement comes to us all eventually, but every experience is unique. Our personalities vary and our relationships differ. And that tells another truth. There is no proper way to grieve. There is only your way. No one should feel guilty or be made to feel guilty for how the grief works its way through them. Some people cry lots, others hardly at all. Some feel less than they expect. Others are hypersensitive to every word and gesture around them. Some need as much space as they can get. Others throw themselves into work again as a way of coping. But there are common themes all the same. There's often a strange vulnerability where you feel undefended and exposed. There can be guilt over what was done or left undone with the departed. There's physical exhaustion because grief is unbelievably tiring and made worse by sleeplessness. When there is sleep, it's often accompanied by dreams of yearning, where the deceased appears, offering you hope that they're alive, before the hope evaporates like breath on a cold day. Our culture gives little time or space to work through the grief. You know, employees are given only a few days to process monumental losses. The clear message that being productive is more important than taking compassionate leave. Too many workplaces still treat bereavement like a drive-through McDonald's. We're embarrassed by death because we don't know what to say to others, not realizing that the first duty is to listen to a bereaved person, not to tell them how they're feeling. And we're disturbed by death because it reminds us of our own destiny. It's understandable we're unsettled because it is the single biggest challenge we are faced with in life. We just don't want to have to think about it. And even when we do, we find wriggle room. As Woody Allen once said, "It's not that I'm afraid of dying, it's just I don't want to be there when it happens." All these are reasons why this kind of service is so vital for our emotional and spiritual health. It dignifies the grief we feel, giving us a ritual and a space in which to mourn. Because grief is a deeply isolating experience. Coming together like this is the human way of coping with a mortal foe. This service is also an encouragement to talk about those we loved. They remain a fundamental part of who we are, and by speaking generously, we honour them, and we affirm our own lives. Is there anyone here who hopes that no one will speak about them again when they're gone? You may be familiar with the poem, "Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep." It poetically describes how we meet with the deceased in glinting snow and ripening grain. It offers solace to those who yearn so longingly. But I think it also misses something big. If we feel we see the deceased in the autumn rain and the morning hush, how much more expressively do we see them in the family they left behind? It was only when we all discovered Zoom in lockdown that I looked in amazement at my facial expressions. I was totally captivated by them as I looked in conversation and realised for the first time just how like my mum I really look. We are all proud of the legacy of the ones we loved, and we bear their imprint. Death may be an enemy in a way, but Psalm 23 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life." God walks at the pace of the broken-hearted, a watchful shepherd who loses none of the flock, living or departed. With one hand, he holds our hand. With the other, he holds tightly the people that we love but see no longer, at least not yet.
May you walk with sunlight shining and the bluebird in every tree. May there be a silver lining back on every cloud you see. Fill your dreams with sweet tomorrows. Never mind what might have been. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet, till we meet, till we meet again.
If you have one of these stars with you, named or not yet named, please hold them. And if you would like, you can either take them home to have at home, or if you would like to give them to one of the hospice staff who are here, one of the hospice colleagues who are here, we can hang them on the tree in the garden room of the hospice. It's your choice what to do with them. As long as the earth endures, the seed time and the harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. When winter comes and all seems dark, and hope cannot be seen, let us find our way from darkness to light. When spring begins to appear and hope is rekindled, let us be comforted and hopeful. And when the sun shines warm and the birds sing and the flowers bloom, let us rejoice at the ending of winter, at the signs of new hope. God of time and space, in your hands you hold all that you have ever created. You breathed life into us, and you will renew our souls every day. We have the ability to know and to love others, to care for our world and for every creature within it, to remember the past in joy and to imagine the future in hope. As we gather together to remember all those whom we have loved and lost, help us. Help us to find the memories to sustain us and to keep close the people we can no longer touch or see. Help us to go forward in life together. Hear our prayer. So please stand, hold your candle, hold your star. And we'd love you to speak the names aloud of the people that you are remembering and to hear around you the many names of the many people that we are remembering today. So please say the names out loud as that you can. Esther Rothschild, Edgar Rothschild, Charlotte Rothschild. I lit a candle tonight in honor of you, remembering your life and all the times we've been through. All the tears I've cried in my grief and my pain. What a garden they grew, watered with human rain. Sometimes I can't see beyond the moment in hopeless despair, and then your memory sustains me. The heartaches repair. I can wait for the tomorrow when my sorrows ease. Until then, I'll hold up this candle and let the memories run free.
In our hearts, we hold the memories of our loved one, remembering them with love and gratitude. May their legacy be a testament to the beauty of their spirit, to the kindness they showed to others, and to the joy they brought into our lives. We are grateful for the privilege of knowing and loving them. As a community, we come together to support one another in our grief. May we find solace in the shared experience of love and loss. Let us be a source of strength for those who need it, and may we find comfort in the memories we hold dear, in the laughter and tears we shared, and in the bonds that unite us. Grateful for the connections that sustain us, we carry our memories with us and move on into life. Thank you for listening.
To honour you, I listen to music you would have liked and sing at the top of my lungs with the windows rolled down. To honour you, I take chances, say what I feel and hold nothing back, risk making a fool of myself and dance every dance. You are my light, my heart, my gift of love from the very highest source. So every day I vow to make a difference, share a smile, live, laugh and love. Now I live for us both, so all I do to honour you.
I was a little worried earlier on that it was a bit of a prediction about walking on through the wind and the rain with your dreams tossed and blown. I'm delighted that the weather held up, and that's been a beautiful evening. I'd like to just thank everybody who made this possible today, and also to remind us all that we're not walking alone. Everybody around us is grieving in our own way, the people that we love. We're not alone, we're doing it together. May the words and prayers spoken today bring us comfort. May our sadness be consoled, and may our lives be brightened by the memories that shine within us.
May God bless us and watch over us. May the face of God shine on us and be gracious to us. May the light of God's countenance shine upon us and give us peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all for coming. Have a safe journey home.